So welcome back guys to a brand new video. Now today we have got a very exciting ARK 2 video, because if you didn't know, in a month's time today we are going to be getting the big 24-hour charity live stream called Extra Life, where we are going to be getting some massive ARK 2 news. In today's video, we are going to be talking all about the stuff we already know and some of the things that we can expect to be at this big 24-hour stream. It is going to be absolutely amazing, and I really can't wait for ARK Survival Evolved 2. If you guys are excited as well, smash that like button, and if we can try and hit over 1,000 likes on today's video, that would mean so much to me for the big hype of ARK 2. Make sure to be subscribed if you're not subscribed already, and let's get straight on with today's video. So we're going to be talking at the beginning right now about the stuff that we can expect for this Extra Life event. Then I'll talk about later on about what we already know about the game. So obviously, as mentioned earlier, Extra Life has been 100% confirmed for November the 6th. As I said as well earlier, it is a 24-hour charity live stream where it is great because we get to raise money in gaming for children in need, which is brilliant there. When we obviously get to certain milestones of raising money, Wildcard give us new announcements. Now this is always on official upcoming big content, and it's kind of already been confirmed on Twitter that it is going to be ARK 2 and ARK animated series. Now what are the types of things you guys are thinking we're going to be getting from this? Now, I've got a little list that I'm going to be reading through. So the main thing, obviously, I think a lot of us want to know is the official release date. What we know so far is the rough release date is sometime in 2022, and lots of people have been expecting it to be sort of summertime 2022, basing it around when Genesis Part 2 came out, because Genesis Part 2 was announced at the last Extra Life 2020, and that came out around about May. And now I know this is a whole new game, and I don't want it rushed, so I wouldn't mind it to be any time in 2022, but obviously it would be nice if it came out at, like, you know, an earlier stage so we get to try out the new game. Another thing a year ago that we heard from the devs is that it will be a long time, probably like over a year, until we find out some gameplay. So it's been about a year now. I think it's been 11 months, so we might see some early ARK 2 gameplay. I think that would be absolutely brilliant to see the mechanics of the game. There's already been some sort of leaks going around of potential ARK 2, like, not gameplay, but like there was like a screenshot, and it did look really awesome, and it looked like it was next gen, but we still don't know if it's an official thing that was true. Now another thing is potential Dino announcements and more sort of Dino gameplay. Now if you haven't seen the first trailer for ARK 2, we know there are some returning dinosaurs coming to the game. It is more primitive, so you won't see things like wyverns straight away, or things like, well, from what we know so far, maybe more things like rock drakes, you know, like fantasy creatures I can't imagine you'll be seeing right at the start of this game. But we know there is going to be the return of like trikes and parasaurs and everything like that, all the stuff you see in the trailer. One of the very interesting things that I made a video on about 8 months ago is that in the trailer there was actually a sauropod in the background, and it looked like a brachiosaurus. It did not look like any of the ones that are in the game so far, so I'm still holding to my kind of theory that the brachiosaurus is coming to ARK Survival Evolved 2. But obviously if they do some dino announcements, it could be pretty big news, and I would love to see the brachiosaurus in ARK. Now, something we saw as well in the trailer was the look at the NPC human beasts. They're like the kind of new characters that are going to be in the game. We don't know whether they're going to be tameable, or whether they're going to have their own tribes or anything like that, or if they're going to work anything like NPC mods work on ARK. I hope they do have their own tribes, and it's something that you kind of have to fight in like, you know, throughout the game, and they're not really going to be tameable, but maybe you can team up with them. I don't know. But what we know about these beasts is that obviously when ARK first announced ARK 2, they said it is a brutal new world of primitive survival against both beast and man. So when they said and man, I don't know if that means just other survivors online, or whether that actually means we're going to have some NPCs. So another thing that Wildcard may do in this stream is a map reveal or some sort of like biome reveals. We kind of saw an idea at the end of the trailer where Vin Diesel like walks out and we see that like amazing background. I know we can't really take much from that type of trailer, but I still thought it looked really, really awesome. Now, another thing I have on my list is simply just more Vin Diesel. I really love seeing him as part of the game, and if you have completed Genesis Part 2, this is where a spoiler, if you haven't, this is where a spoiler is going to be. Obviously, at the end, we see Vin Diesel coming out of a pod, and then he looks over all the arcs and the different planets, which I thought was really awesome, and I really can't wait just to see more of how he's going to have his role in this game. It is going to be amazing. So the last thing that I thought I'd put on the list of things that we should be expecting at this like a 24-hour live stream is weapons and tools. Now, I made a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago talking about some of the weapons and tools. We saw lots of artwork that, it wasn't recently, but there was some artwork shown of some of the weapons of ARK 2, and I covered it, and it was really, really awesome. So I hope we get a more in-depth look, if they do show us some gameplay, at the weapons and tools. So, what we know so far. This is the next section of the video of everything you guys need to know. So, obviously, ARK 2 is an Xbox and PC exclusive. And now, that doesn't mean that it's never going to come to the PlayStation. It just means that Xbox, well, Microsoft have a deal with Studio Wildcard to make it an exclusive. It's coming out on Steam and all of that, and Epic Games and everything like that, but PlayStation will have to wait till later on. It's sad that these things do happen, but it's all trying to make players, you know, move to Xbox. If you're a massive, like, ARK fan, like a huge ARK fan, and you play on PlayStation, and you're going to have to wait, let's say, a year until you can get the new game, it's going to tempt you to buy an Xbox, and it's sad the way that works. I wish we could all get things at the same time, but at the moment, when it is first released, it will only be on Xbox and PC. It is fully optimized for next gen, which is the main thing for the future. I've seen, as I said, there was that leaked photo that looked absolutely amazing. We know that there's a brand new storyline coming our way. It was a really nice but sad end to Genesis Part 2, as we've been on a long 6-year journey learning more and more about the end of ARK Survival Evolved. Now, one thing again, talking about Vin Diesel, is Vin Diesel has actually played over 1,000 hours of ARK Survival Evolved. We don't know how much more that is, as, you know, we found that out about 11 months ago, so I don't know how many more hours that's going to be. And he joined Studio Wildcard as the president of Creative Convergence, and will act as the executive producer of ARK 2 and ARK the Animated Series. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys about that is I just think it's really good to get someone on board that actually has good experience of the game. It would be a little bit, you know, it wouldn't be perfect, would it, to have like an executive producer come in for the game, just being Vin Diesel, who's never played the game before. He just thought it sounded like a cool idea, because he's actually got experience of the game and plays it a lot with his family. It just means that he knows what the fan base and the player base wants for ARK Survival Evolved, and that's what gives me good sort of faith that ARK 2 could be a great game working with him. If you didn't know, a little funny fact is that Vin Diesel, the way he was found out that he played the game is he actually reported the Ferox bug. I think it was the Ferox one, but he reported some sort of bug with ARK, and then the team actually found out that it was Vin Diesel reporting that bug, and they got into contact from him through that bug, which I still find such a funny fact within the game. So that is basically, obviously, ARK 2 is planned for 2022 sometime. That is the main stuff we know about it, and that is the sort of some of the stuff that you could be expecting to see at the extra live stream this year. I cannot wait for it, guys. I will be streaming it on my channel November the 6th. It's going to be 24 hours. I will make sure I'm in most of the stream. I think last year I did about 18 hours, and I missed the last like 6 because I was just so tired and I needed to get some sleep, but I always leave the stream on for 24 hours, so don't worry about that. Really cannot wait for it, guys. It's going to be a great stream. Watch out for it on my channel. Have notifications turned on so you don't miss out on it, as it is only a month away. Subscribe if you're excited for ARK 2, and I'll catch you guys in my next video very soon.